Where's everybody? All right. I have no injuries to update you on. We came out pretty clean there. My hat goes off to our fans. What a great job they did. It's a tough place to play, and they truly are the 12th man in there, so we appreciate them a ton. Defensively and offensively, I thought the coordinators just had great game plans, and with the coaches, the assistant coaches, I thought they did a nice job likewise. And then there were some good personal things that went on. Pat Mahomes, he had a great day, and then Kels, it was great to see him rolling 6 catches for 78 yards. Hollywood getting him into the mix, and he did a nice job. Pacheco had a nice day, and all of that because the offensive line played well. Andy Heck does a heck of a job with that, no pun intended. And then 6.1 yards per play, which is great there. Defensively, Connor had 12 tackles, led the team in tackles. David does a great job with that secondary group there, and we ask him to do a ton. We play a lot of guys, and him getting those guys organized and going is a good. He did a nice job. Omenihu, that fourth quarter sack was big, but I thought they really bowed up the second half there. And Joe Cullen brings a lot of energy to the team and to that group, and did a good job there. So that goes off to those guys. And then we had 1 penalty, which was a positive. And then special teams, I thought our return game was good. We didn't have but 1 punt, so. And then we got Bucker a field goal, which was great, man. He did a nice job of that. They drilled it. And all in all, a good night. I could keep going here, but it was one of those good nights. So, time's yours.
Andy, you mentioned the line right away. What did you see from Jalen Moore, and how did that all play out tonight?
Yeah, Jalen, I thought did a nice job. He just had a baby too, which is a great thing. So last night or early this morning, however you want to put it. But he stepped in. Josh was gone for personal reasons, so for him to step in was a nice thing, and I thought he did a nice job. And tribute to Andy for rolling those guys during the week and getting that part done.
And when did you realize or understand you wouldn't have Josh, and when might you expect him back?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. When he's back, he's going to take care of that, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But we were aware of it. Yeah.
Did you just learn today, or was it last night?
Does it matter, Vi?
Coach Reid, how did y'all go from 13 penalties last week to 0 accepted this week?
Yeah, so penalties are kind of a crazy thing. So it's sometimes they come in waves. So I thought the officials did a nice job, but I thought our guys did a nice job of correcting some of those. With a good conscious effort to put forward there. So yeah, no, it was a positive though, really.
Andy, the initial 4th down they went for inside the 10-yard line. Just take me through that decision.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was the right thing to do, especially when you're playing a team that scores a lot of points. But I just thought it was the right way to go. Those are all subjective decisions, and then I know if you talk to the stats guy, they're going to tell you to go for about every 4th down. The Frazier does a good job of keeping within reason. So, but listen, it was the right time to do that.
Is the way the offense has been playing, last week, and then the way they started out the game, does that make that decision? Does that kind of swing the needle a little bit?
Sure. I mean, it helps. We're doing okay. Yeah, that sure does. Yeah.
Andy, you mentioned the game planning offensively and defensively, but to what do you attribute kind of the surge the last 3 weeks or so, and how the offense has been?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I've said this, but getting one back was a big thing. Xavier brings a lot of energy, and he can do a lot of things for you. And then he has an attitude there that he brings, and getting Rasheed back in the building, I also think was a big part. I think they felt that they were whole again, at least by body there. So that was positive, having him back in the building.
And do you also feel like Hollywood's kind of hitting its stride in what you might have thought he could
Yeah,
be?
that's what I'm saying. He had a nice day, 4 for 45, couple TDs. He's a good football player. He loves to play. Try to give him the ball in many ways. We had the jet sweep to him, which was good, and down in there in the red zone. So that was a help.
Coach, their first drive was 15 plays, and they got down there and it looked like they scored a touchdown. Were you aware of the teal hat?
Yeah, actually, the official told me right away what went on. So
Yeah.
but that was weird. You don't see that very often. It was a different kind of play too. So
Yeah.
they're very creative in what they do, and they just that one didn't get set. So that was.
It was a little weird and ugly at the end of the game. What was your view of what happened out there afterwards with the scuffle?
Yeah, well, you guys. I mean, it was. The guy came up and hit Juju for what looked like no reason for taking a knee. So, that's tough. I mean, put pretty good damage on Juju's nose.
Andy, you scored touchdowns there right before halftime and right after halftime. How big was that in the game, and what stands out?
Yeah, well, they deferred, so they gave us an opportunity to get the ball the second half. We were able to come out and score there, which I thought that was big. Anytime you come out in the second half and move the ball a little bit, I think it helps everybody. And then the first half, it was a good drive. I can't say enough about the Nagy's and Blaymeyers, these guys that put that plan together. Remember, Connor and the whole group just had some good stuff. Todd Pinks and De Leon, we've added into the mix here, and he gives us a nice perspective from the defensive side. He's kind of gotten into the offensive part of it too, so that helps just with putting the game plan together. But I thought it was a thick game plan.
Andy, you mentioned Travis earlier, but can you elaborate a little bit on what you see about why he's so effective tonight, particularly? And
I think he came back in great shape. I think he's been playing well all along. Particularly these last 3 weeks. So he came back in good shape for that. And at his age, that's important. That's a big thing.
Last one, Sam.
And you mentioned the offensive line, but not just protecting on each individual play, but just the impact of what they've done maybe the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
What have you noticed that's had?
Yeah, you had asked me that before, and I agree with that they've gotten better as we've gone on. The young guys, or in this case, jumping in and doing his thing. So it's a good group, and they're physical. I think if you can take something away from this game, when they bear down, they can bear down. So it ends up being important.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.